Not bashing to anyone who is in a relationship, but also for my solo travelers, this is for you. So, okay, let's talk about why the Philippines is perfect for slow traveling and even better for slower travelers. I love slow traveling. I don't think I can do the fast traveling anymore after experiencing the slow traveling. So now I'm just like, I want to talk about this forever. So in this video, I'm going to give you some reasons why you should travel to the Philippines, especially in 2026, and why you should also travel there solo and why it's perfect for you to go there solo. I'm not bashing to anyone who is in a relationship, we still love, but also for my solo travelers, this is for you. So sit down and let's talk about this. I'm going to give you a few reasons why I think the Philippines is absolutely perfect for your next solo traveler, like solo travel experience. Okay, let's start off with just the country itself. The Philippines is beautiful. Wherever you go, either all the islands or the city or the province, even the provinces are literally so amazing, and the people there, even though they're not used to tourists, they're still very much welcoming, which was such a surprise. I loved my experience in the province even way more than I did in the cities and even in the island, mainly because it felt so unique in a way that we don't get to see these different places. We don't get to see these like provinces where most travelers go to. So I was privileged enough to travel and to travel solo, and I met a lot of Filipinos also who connected with me so well. So they would invite me to their province where most tourists don't get to go. And I was really privileged in that I got to experience that side of the Philippines or even that side of the Filipino people. So, speaking of the Filipino people, I feel like this is another reason why you should go to the Philippines just for the people. Okay, hear me out. I feel like the Philippines is amazing and the people itself makes it amazing, even more amazing. What I mean by this is the Filipino people are very welcoming. They're so warm, so nice. I was just like, how is this possible? Like people are they're so energetic. I am a person who like love going out and meeting people and connecting with new people and just wanna, yap yap yap. I met my own people. I met a lot of Filipinos. Like I feel like this is a lot of them who are just so welcoming and so friendly. They just wanna yap. They just wanna ask you questions. They just wanna be. I was like, I have this thing in my mind where it's just so funny to me where everywhere you go in the Philippines, even in the shops, even like a lot of places that you go, maybe not everywhere, but like a lot of places that you go, there were four questions that's gonna follow up everywhere you go. And this was like, hi mom, how are you doing? Where are you from? And do you have a boyfriend? And do you like the Philippines? These are like four questions that I got constantly asked. Like people were just so curious to know. And this is like different people this was like different people everywhere I go. They just want to ask these four questions. And it was so funny because it was just very, very accurate in most of these places. And I felt like for me, I did not feel bad about that because I really love that. I love people who are curious. I am a curious person. So I also love meeting people who are curious to know like things, little things about you. As long as they don't go into your private, like, information and they want to know everything and everything. But it's very nice to see how warm and welcoming and how curious Filipino people are because it makes you excited. It makes you like, on your feet. And speaking of the Filipino people, I loved how Filipinos love their country and how they even travel within their country. I swear, I did not experience this in Thailand or even Vietnam, other Southeast Asian countries that I've been to. So what I mean by this is like you will meet Filipinos from around the Philippines, everywhere else in the Philippines. So it's like in Siargao, you're gonna meet a lot of Filipinos from Manila, from Zamboanga, from Bacolod, from Iloilo, and they're just there to travel. So they just there to explore Siargao, and most of them it's not even their first time being in this place. So they just want to explore their country, and that is something we don't get to experience in other countries around Southeast Asia. The thing of meeting other like locals, but they're not really locals. And I love that about the Philippines because even in Siargao, where there's not a lot of locals, you still meet other Filipinos who still makes you feel like, okay, I'm still in the Philippines. I'm still, I'm still here. I'm still experiencing the culture. And most of them are also can be like solo travelers. A lot of them can be, and though, so if you want to connect to them, you can still connect to them in that way. Another reason is definitely the traveling culture in the Philippines. Traveling or like tourist culture, tourism or tourist culture. I would say this because I felt like in the Philippines, they know that tourisms are going to be everywhere. So in a way that they do cater to tourists a lot. And this can be in a good way and a bad way, but in a good way in a sense that they know that, like, solo travelers come and solo and also pair travelers comes, so they also cater to solo travelers a lot. Like they have activities that are just like, all the people are welcomed. I feel like in other places, especially, I think I experienced this a little bit in Thailand, where when I was solo and they were like, oh no, you have to like you need to have someone with you. I was like, but I don't. But I had to find someone. And I feel like in the Philippines, they know that people come solo and people would want to do things solo. So they have that catering, like these services there. It also caters to solo travelers. And even when you go to a restaurant, people are not very like shocked that you're solo. They'll literally just be like, oh, table for one. And I feel like it's so inclusive to the point that when you go to tours and you're solo, the tour guides are always ready to take photos and they take the most perfect photos. I'm not even kidding. I feel like these people are trained to be photographers and also travel guiders, because I'm just like, how are you so good at taking photos? I feel like every photo they take, it's always so good. So I feel like in that way, they know that people are gonna come solo, and there's those people who likes photos like me. I would just ask them like, Kuya, can you please take photos? And they're always willing to take a photo of you, especially as a solo traveler. So that is also applies on, like, traveling solo in the Philippines. So I feel like for me, the travel and tourism culture, it really welcomes like solo travelers, and it's even more comfortable with solo travelers, which is something I loved so much. And to add on to like meeting people and everything is the language. When there's like a language barrier or like a big language barrier, it's always so hard to meet people and connect. And as a solo traveler, it can even be more harder. But in the Philippines, language is just another day. They have English, so it's also good English, so you can still understand everything they're saying. So in that way, you don't get to experience the language barrier in like a very hard way. The only place that I got to experience a little bit of that was like in the province, where most of them they just prefer to speak their own languages, which I understood, because obviously if you don't have the chance, or you don't like have to speak English, I wouldn't too. Like, that's just me. So it's like they would rather speak their language. But in any other places, like especially tourist places, you will not experience any English, like, or any language barrier, because most of the Filipinos actually speaks English. They have English, and then they have Tagalog as their national language, and then they still have a lot of dialects in the Philippines, which was something I was so excited about, because I didn't know that about the Philippines. I didn't know they have like all this like Ilonggo, they have like Cebuano, they have what's this Bisaya, a lot of languages that they do speak apart from English and Tagalog, which is like interesting, which is I loved. But yeah, English is always like very widely spoken around the Philippines. So for you, it's not going to be a problem, especially if you're from an English speaking background. Maybe if you're not, then Google Translate is always there. Another reason is definitely how safe the Philippines is. I felt so safe in the Philippines. And the fact that the Philippines is also apparently considered unsafe, I was like, what are you guys talking about? There were times I would even walk and like at night in the dark in the Philippines, and and I just feel so safe. There's not anything that would make me feel unsafe or any otherwise. There are dogs walking around, but the dogs also don't bite unless they're actually like, you actually provoke them or do some aggressive things to them. But most of the dogs are really, really friendly. I feel like the Philippines was one of the countries that I would literally come close to a dog just because I felt safe with them. I before the Philippines, I could have never be this close to a dog, like never. But in the Philippines, literally all the dogs are so friendly that you just have to be nice to them. You just have to give them food if they do need food, and you just have to be very friendly. So even at night, you can walk, and the dogs can also walk with you. Some of them would literally bring you home bring you home, and I felt like that was really cute. So like when it comes to safety, especially as a woman and you're traveling solo, there just come a time where you literally just find yourself you're still eating outside and it's already dark, but also your place is not that far from the restaurant you're eating at, and you just have to walk. Honestly, the Philippines was just so safe. There was no any reason why I would have felt any unsafe. Like everywhere I go, this was in Manila, El Nido, Siargao, Puerto Princesa, like everywhere, even in Sikihor, like most all the places that I got to stay in, I at least worked at night one day, and most of them were literally so safe, either at night and in the during the day. And especially during the day, you're gonna meet a lot of Filipinos who are like, even when you're passing by their house, they're like hi, and most of them will be offering you food, even offering you drinks, and even offering you whatever they're drinking or eating. So that was also something I was like, this is not normal. Like, this is not the Philippines that I would hear of, and how you should always be looking at your back and everything. I did not have any reason to literally just like have my eyes on my shoulder all the time. So that was also another bonus that I felt in the Philippines was amazing. So I honestly really hope that if the Philippines is one of those countries on your list and you really want to go to the Philippines anytime soon, I recommend. And as especially as a solo traveler, also as a female, there's always very skeptical feelings about where to go and how to navigate and how to live your life while you're there and everything. And I strive for places where I feel safe, I feel at ease, I feel welcomed, and I feel I can be myself. And the Philippines really gave me the sense of that. And being able to live there for 7 months says a lot, because I was also like, if it's this place is not good for me, or if it's just not serving me the way I want to be treated or served, I am gonna leave. And I was gonna do that because I don't really believe in living in a stressful life. So being able to do this in the Philippines and living life like this for 7 months that I was there, I would definitely recommend. So this is also for you if you're also traveling solo, or you're thinking of traveling solo and the Philippines is one of those countries you've always wanted to go. Do it. Make it happen. Enjoy the Philippines and see you in the next one. Okay. Bye.